Hi everybody. Some of you know me, some of you don't. My name is Rich, and I was contacted by Yazhi Swaruu, and I talked to Yazhi and Athena Swaruu and Annika online the way that Gosha normally does. And I'm here to share Marie Swaruu's new channel, if you haven't heard about it. And I don't know how to talk about this stuff, except it's just, I feel shy, awkward, uncomfortable, things like this. But I had the opportunity to talk to Yazhi, and we were going to talk more, except their ship had to leave. And so it never happened again. So then Athena wanted to talk to me, and so I talked to Athena, and again, we were going to get back together again and have another chat. And then that whole thing about the Spanish channel and all that stuff happened. So Athena was quite occupied and busy with all that. But I was just getting to know the group and be part of the team, and then, things happen. And I've never really made a video about my relationship, what I feel my relationship is with the Swaruu and the Tigetans. And I just do not know how to talk about it. So if I seem a little awkward and, hesitant, that's why. So Marie Swaruu, if you don't know, is a Pleiadian girl from the Pleiadian constellation, the star Tigeta, and that's her, that's her star system, the Tigetan star system. So they are the Tigetan Pleiadian ETs. Now, so this video is, I don't want to do a reaction sort of thing on Marie Swaruu's official channel so much as just share her information. And if I have any supportive thoughts and commentary, I would like to do that, because it's my intention to be in full support of the Tigetan team, why they're here and what they're doing here and all of this. That's where I'm coming from on all this, okay? So here we go. And as you can see, this is her channel. You can find Swaruu Official easily enough on YouTube and watch this whole video yourself, and I will leave the link below. But as Marie talks about Yazhi, I want to share with you my own thoughts, having had the opportunity to talk to Yazhi twice online. Okay? And Annika too. And I want to talk about Annika. It really affected me when I heard about what happened with Annika. So anyway, here we go.
Yazhi and Play. Hello again, I'm Marie Swaruu. This is the first of a series of videos about day-to-day life on board a Tigetan starship. They will include thoughts, conversations, and anecdotes that will help you all understand more who we are, but many will be shared only because we want to. Some may have a deep message, and some others may even be humorous. These are the long and vast corridors of Starship Talika. 1,734 meters long, formerly a battle cruiser, a warship, now converted into a multi-purpose yacht capable of operating alone in deep space for prolonged periods of time.
Has anyone here watching this stuff get that sense of longing or, homesick, sort of pining for a life like this? I do. It And it's really comforting to see this kind of imagery. This is what it looks like, and it certainly triggers feelings more than memories for me. It's like, I love it. I love it. And I miss the crew very, very much. I miss everybody. Okay, here we go.
Originally designed for a large crew of 1,800, today Talika has only around 30 people on board, so its vast spaces are mostly alone and silent. Aft from the lower part of the ship's main atrium, or main living space, and walking around an elevator shaft, next to one of the ship's libraries you will find a very large and spacious museum, full of strange art from many star systems Talika has visited, although nowadays what it contains the most are artifacts from Earth's present culture as well as past ones. At the end of its central corridor and going through an arched entrance with two Suzy angels engraved in metal at each side guarding it, you will find the Central Gardens Lounge, or living room. It is a large ship-wide space with a 2-story high ceiling from which old chandeliers hang from, with a dark blue carpet, many light grey colour sofas to sit on to chat with friends. On the rear it has a non-alcoholic beverage soda fountain, and on its aft wall you can see a series of large oval-shaped vertical windows overseeing the central garden some 5 or 6 meters below.
Now, about these central gardens, I've had quite a few out-of-body experiences, and some of them have been on spacecraft, where I've communicated to the local crew. And on one craft, I was able to look through the window of the apartment into the huge garden area, and they are just beautiful. When I talked to Yazhi, she mentioned that she sometime would go in there to play. And so yeah, this just reminds me of how it is. You see all these pretty carpets. I was on a ship, and the beings, they seem to be like sort of elven-like. That ship, when I first boarded, I went up a ramp, and you look at the walls, and have you ever been in one of those theaters where they have the carpeting is actually on the wall? It's textured walls, and it's like the carpet material, but it's on the walls. It's really fancy and nice, plush. It was like that on a spacecraft. It just reminded me, this whole look that we're seeing right here is, yeah, I hear you, man. I get it. Okay, let's continue.
This place is very peaceful, empty and spacious, although it is also known for its excellent acoustic properties, and it is equipped with a very nice sound equipment. But it is almost always silent.
That brings a bit of sadness to me. This big, beautiful ship, there's what it was supposed to be, or what it was, battleship, turned into a different kind of ship repurposed for this. And as things have played out on Earth, and I don't know, I just wish that things had played out better for the team, the mission. I'd love to see the place teeming with life and people enjoying the experience of doing what they can to help Earth humans understand who they are, who the ETs are, what's the situation in our galaxy, all that stuff. I actually feel like I'm part of the team in that way. That I've been for a very, very long time interested in ET, extraterrestrial things.
One day many months ago, perhaps well over a year ago, little 9-year-old Yazhi was playing there alone, immersed in her thoughts and plot, moving and animating her two favorite, 3-inch tall, dolls called Jenny and Sophie, her alter ego. She moved them along speaking aloud, as if they talked to each other, placing them inside cardboard houses and a fantastically built starship also made of cardboard. She made.
Now, when I talked to Yazhi online, she told me about her dollhouse that she was making. And she also shared with me her spaceship that she was making. And it was really sweet. We talked about ice cream. We talked about skateboarding. I asked her about skateboarding. And Annika was online with her, so I was talking to both of them. And Annika said something about sharing with me what happened on the skateboard. She had a little skateboard accident, and it was just so sweet and refreshing to hear this side of the experience with the Tibetans. It was just like a kind of a meet and greet and chit chat and getting to know you sort of conversations. And I was still trying to sort out how I could be of help, how I could help them, and what I could do working with them. And so we were in the middle of that, and then we were we were going to meet up. We had hey, well, it's next Saturday or next Sunday, okay, and that's when you probably remember if you've been staying tuned to how it's playing out. But that was back when their ship, they had to leave orbit. They had to bug out for a while. So we never got to make that meeting. And then a lot of things happened and changed by the time they did come back. And then Athena contacted me. And then I can't, it's like I'm reliving my trauma, my emotional issue here. I was hoping to talk to Athena again. And, even Gosha actually wrote to me and said Athena would like to talk to me, but there's been a lot of interference and blocking of Gosha's communications, either emails, they don't come through, or different things. Anyway, I didn't get the message that Athena wanted to talk to me again. And so it was like as if I had ignored the message. And so Athena thought I didn't want to talk. So. I could start crying right now. But yeah, Yazhi, absolutely brilliant being, but she likes being a child, and as you watch this further, you'll see what this is about as well. But anyway, let's get back to Marie Swaruu's video here.
There she was, alone and far from the rest of the crew, immersed in her trance, at play, making starship noises with her mouth, while she explored strange imaginary worlds in her little head.
Now, I know something about this exploring worlds in your head thing. There are some people, Yazhi obviously, can imagine other realms, like a super daydreamer. But we create with our imagination, and it's just instant. The daydream comes to life, like in The Secret Life of Walter Mitty, the classic story about this. But people step into their imaginary world. And if you look at how realities work, all beings are creating the reality they are in. Most of us do it subconsciously. And then we step into it, and then we experience it from the point of view of our avatar or body. And then we can touch and we feel like we're inside the realm, inside the belief system territory, inside the dream, inside the reality or the matrix. And by consideration, we are inside. But on the other hand, we are the creator of it as well. And it's created out of consciousness. And we are the consciousness. So the consciousness is all around. And that's the big you, so to speak. But we become the being that we are, and then we live and experience our life from that point of view. Now, Yazhi's had the unique ability as Swaruu. There's these different renditions or versions, so to speak, of Swaruu. Swaruu is the consciousness, and she's able to, Swaruu, let's just not necessarily, we're talking about Yazhi, Athena, Marie, and Swaruu 9, and all of this. But as the consciousness Swaruu, she lived her life, and then as a time traveler, she was also able to time travel back and relive the life over again, but make some changes in it. So it's like she's living a second life like the first life. It's like Bill Murray in Groundhog Day. He relives the same day over. Well, Swaruu could live the lives over. And so thus you will see Swaruu 9, Swaruu 10, Swaruu 11, Swaruu 12. Yazhi is Swaruu 12. But also there's another factor involved, and it's that there can be more than one Swaruu 9, for example. So I put to keep track, Swaruu 9A and Swaruu 9B, sort of like that. So there's another Swaruu 9, and the other Swaruu 9 had a child, Swaruu 10, who had Swaruu 11 as a child. But each one of these Swaroos are really the same consciousness. So Swaruu 12 is Yazhi, and she's able to imagine these realities or these realms and live or experience them. This is my understanding of what Yazhi can do. You know, we'd have to, you can get it from Yazhi or watch the videos over at Cosmic Agency or this series, if this is how it works for Yazhi. But normally, when you find people that can do this, they can step into their imaginary world, touch it, feel it, taste it, smell it, and it's for them, it's like an out-of-body experience or a consciousness shift into another realm. The realm is their imagined reality, our imagined realm. Very similar to a lucid dream, but totally consciously and aware, creating the experience. So that's what comes to mind when I hear this part.
Yazhi, although her real name is Sophia Swaruu, is a little, thin and short girl that soon, in March 20th, 23, will be only 11 years old.
Now, it was asked, could she likes being a child, okay? She likes playing with her dolls and her spaceships and stuff. And I can totally understand why. Anyway, Marie's going to talk more about that too. I love them. I just love them.
She remembers a very, very unusual large amount of her past lives, and in great detail. The good, the bad and the ugly. Only she knows how many, apparently over 12, at least. So she remembers just about all what she learned from living her past lives and all the experience she has accumulated throughout them. So she is a wise, very old soul. She has expressed many times how remembering so much burdens her, especially emotionally, because she remembers everything, including very bad things like how she died each time.
You know, I've done a lot of past life regression as a facilitator, helping people remember their trauma and stuff. And I've had maybe 400 or 500 hours of past life regressions myself that I've regressed and looked into. And yeah, it's a big thing. And normally people on Earth will block out their painful memories. It's kind of a survival mechanism so they can move on and continue living life without carrying the emotional pain. And I know someone who has this ability to remember their past in full-blown detail. I don't know about it if every lifetime, but they can tune in and recall and re-experience when they have a memory. It's not like a lot of people remember something. It's like reliving it. It's like an out-of-body experience. It's like a lucid dream or a false awakening. It's like you're in it. It's a memory, but you're in it, and you are reliving it, and you experience everything, the good, the bad, and the ugly. And it can be extremely painful to relook at. So on Earth, the humans, the beings that we are, whether we've done it on purpose or it happens some other weird way, our memories are blocked. We don't remember. It just doesn't instantly and easily pop up, our painful memories, and we certainly do not relive it. It's a memory. It's called eidetic memory. It's called photographic memory, and it's called revivification, like revive, bring back to life. You can bring back to life your memories. Now, when you step back and look at that phenomena philosophically and spiritually, you start to understand that what is reality and what is real and what is now, these kind of spiritual or philosophical questions come up, and you start to understand that what is real is what you can touch and feel in the moment, but also what is real is what you've agreed with others to be real. So if you can see something that somebody else can't see, you can feel it and smell it, all this, and your people around you can't see it, it's not real to them. So perception is part of it. But some of them might agree with you that it's real without the perception. And so it's in their reality that these things that you can see or feel or experience are real by agreement. But when you have perception, that you get really a strong and a locked in, this is real, man. Now, is it real to them? Is it reality? Is it physical universe real? That's a different philosophical conversation. But when you can touch it and feel it and relive it and experience it, a memory, as if you're doing it over again, what you're seeing or what's happening is that the being who is always creating the now, you and we are creating this reality around us, just like this, just with our subconscious power and ability to manifest and create. And then we look at it and touch it and feel it and experience it, and then we think, oh, I didn't do this. This isn't me. I don't know. God is creating this. But it's you and me. So when you can do this consciously, you are letting go of the conscious creation of this reality as you put more energy, focus, attention on your imagined reality or your daydream or your imaginary world, and you move into that and experience that as your reality. Now, it's not the reality you have with all your friends and loved ones in the agreed upon main reality system on the local timeline that you've agreed to be on. No, but it is still real in that way. And so it takes your attention off of and allows you the ability to not always be creating this other stuff. Now, this is just my best effort at trying to understand how it works with Yazhi. I'm not the expert. I didn't really talk to her about these sort of things. So I'm just, I want to be clear. I'm not trying to tell you what to think about, their stuff. Highly recommend going over to Cosmic Agency and subscribing to this channel, Swaruu Official, for the straight scoop, straight from the girls. Okay? All right. Here we go.
She remembers where she was, where she lived, what she did there, why she laughed and why she cried. Her little soul and body carry a lot of wisdom, but also a lot of sorrow, as she remembers countless faces, names, and all, of her friends and of people she knew back then, during her past lives, people who she saw being born, grow up, have their own children, grow old, and die. She lived, and now remembers that, over and over again. People long gone, long forgotten in the sands and mists of time. She misses them all, and very much.
I've thought about this before. I've thought about love. And, so many people are looking for true love, and they're looking for, their soulmate, twin flame, this sort of thing. And we either experience it and know the feeling of it, or we can remember or imagine how it will feel, or we yearn for that loving experience and connection with another being. And I've often thought about, wow, how many times have we had that wonderful loving experience? And, it can be, soulmate, romantic relationship, or it can be just like best friends, like a mom or a dad or a brother or a sister or a buddy or a girlfriend, a pal. And the strength and connection that we've had in the past, wonderful. To lose it, painful, extremely heart-wrenching and heartbreaking. Not to mention, I shouldn't mention this, but not to mention if you saw them die, if you're it's in a fight or a war experience or many different kinds of ways to be witness to their dying. It's got to be extremely difficult to confront and deal with. I was going to mention earlier, I know somebody like this that has this. I work with people with this kind of memory, and when they don't always look at their painful memories either, but sometimes they get relief by looking at it and processing it and all of this, and so the traumatic incident isn't affecting them in the present moment. So you do past life regression, traumatic incident reduction sort of work, and so I've done a lot of that, and I've worked with people with this extremely vivid memory as if it's reliving it, and wow, do they go through it. I mean, it's reliving it. It's painful. It is just heart-wrenchingly painful for the person. They could be crying and sobbing right there in the session with me because they are in it and reliving it. So it just says a lot for Yazhi that she can even confront and deal with that as a consciousness, as a being. the ability to still be able to remember this stuff, as painful as it is, the rest of us, we don't do that. We would find it extremely difficult and be unable or unwilling to confront that sort of thing. That's kind of the beings, the people on planet Earth that do not have past life memory. This is one of the big reasons they don't. It's too painful to remember. And we don't have, even if we want to remember, we don't necessarily have the ability to look at it, because subconsciously we'll instantly go like that and block it out. So someone that has a great deal of confront for life and experience, they can see their memories like this. And so it says a lot for Yazhi's abilities in that way. Probably some of the other Swaruu, or if not all of them, have some of that ability or as well. I don't know.
Yazhi has expressed what a burden remembering so much is for her, and she has many times.
Yeah.
It is heavy on her soul. This has confused many people everywhere, but mostly on Earth, as most cannot understand how such a small girl can harbor such knowledge and wisdom rarely seen even in senior people on Earth, gurus or spiritual masters.
My understanding of that is that, as I was saying, we have chosen not to remember, or maybe it's not a conscious decision, but subconsciously we've started blocking it, and it's amnesia. But it's because of our inability or unwillingness to confront the lifetime. And there's a lot of knowledge and wisdom in those lifetimes, but that gets lost or blocked as well, because you don't just block the painful moment or the painful incident or experience, you block the entire life. So you don't remember that past life. Or like some people will have, they don't remember their childhood from 4 to 12 years old or something like that. They have these things that have happened, and they either do it themselves, consciously or unconsciously, block out the memories. But anything they've learned in that area, they may lose that memory as well. So the knowledge and wisdom that they may have had in the past can get lost. So Yazhi, my understanding of why it works, why she can retain her wisdom, is because she can confront so well her past. And she's not locking it out or blocking it out. Okay? That's what I think. That's my understanding of it.
That day Anika went to check on her. She stood at the entrance of the lounge, by the two Susie angels, and watched silently how Yazhi played. Anika wondered why such a creature with so much memory and wisdom would still need to play. After all, child's play is for learning purposes, where a child incorporates into its personality what it has learned so far during its short life, emulates and learns to control the world around it. Then why would an old soul with full memory still have to behave like a 9-year-old? Why would such a wise old soul need to play? She wondered as Yazhi played on. Anika couldn't help it, and she decided to walk up to Yazhi to ask her. "Yazhi, how are you?" "I'm fine, thanks." "Why?" she answered. Yazhi, can I ask you a question?" Anika said. "Okay," Yazhi answered. "If you remember so many of your past lives, if you know so much about everything, what would you possibly learn from simple child's play?" And Yazhi smiled, made a worried little face, and answered, I play to forget.
Yeah. Yeah. That says it. That says it. Well, Yazhi, if you ever see this, hi. Marie, hi. And Athena, hello. I'd love to talk to you again if you ever have time. All of you, any of you. I would like to thank you very much, Marie, for this video and this series about Yazhi. Thank you. All right. Talk to you later.